Michael is the name of the archangel, the leader of the heavenly militia. In the command of God's army, he and his celestial soldiers clash against the evil. Michael is generally depicted as an angelic figure, using the sword and the armor with the devil's image under him. There are other important archangels like Raphael and Gabriel, but none of them receives as much devotion as Archangel Michael. He is accountable for warding off countless attempts that tried to keep mankind off the path of goodness. Another role of the archangel is to lead the soul of the good to heaven, right after their judgment. Michael also connects men and God. He is responsible for taking the prayers of the faithful to God. But Michael's main role is at the command of his army of angels. The Bible tells that Michael opposed the strengths of Satan a few times, and in all these, Michael had always been and remained victorious. The commander of the angels fought against evil when the dragon-shaped devil, along with their evil angels, tried to conquer heaven. But Satan and his allies were expelled by the angelic forces led by Michael the archangel, and they were shoved towards the earth. These fallen angels had to shelter themselves in hell. They were no match for the forces of good, led by the outstanding angelic warrior. The archangel Michael is acknowledged by Christian, Hebrew, and Muslim faiths alike, but Catholics are the ones who give him the highest honors. Michael is considered the defender of the church, and his faithful is known as Saint Michael the Archangel among the most faithful. September 29 is dedicated to celebrating the three main archangels, Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel. Nowadays, the archangel is still very sought by those seeking protection from evil.
Raphael is one of the most important angels in Judeo-Christian culture. His name means God heals or God's cure. Therefore, he is regarded as the angel who carries God's healing powers. The Archangel Raphael is the addressee of many prayers of those who wanted to be cured from the most different diseases. Among the three main archangels of Catholic tradition, Saint Raphael the Archangel is one with the most subtle presence in the Bible. His main biblical appearance is found in Book of Tobit, part of the Old Testament. In it, the archangel descended to earth in order to follow Tobit during his journey, who was a God-fearing youngster, someone who loved God above all things. The angel assumed the human form and guided Tobit to his destination. In the middle of their journey, when Tobit and Raphael were on the banks of the Tigris, Tobias was attacked by a large fish that attempted to devour him. But Raphael encouraged him to fight the fish and drag it out of the water. Tobit managed to defeat the fish, and the Lord's angel asked him to keep the fish's heart and liver, as these items would be a healing instrument of the Lord. He would also have to keep the fish's gall. The angel guided Tobit to his destination, where the latter was offered Sarah's hand. Although a beautiful young woman, she was possessed by demons. Sarah had already been married 7 times, and in all of them, their husbands died before marriage. Tobit feared to be another victim of that curse, but Raphael assured him that God was at his side. The angel instructed him how to proceed in order to protect himself from the demons. In this ritual, under Raphael's guidance, Tobit used the heart and liver of the great fish. With that, the demons were exorcised, and Tobit and Sarah managed to consummate their union. The Lord's angel protected Tobit on his return home, and when he found his father, who was blind, Tobit made use of the fish's gall to promote a true miracle, following Raphael's guidance. After putting the gall on his father's eyes, his vision was restored. Due to this biblical passage, those who believe in the angelic figures also believe that the presence of the Archangel Raphael helps in the healing of physical maladies, akin to the healing process of Tobias's father's blindness, while also assisting in the healing of psychic and spiritual illnesses, like with Sarah. The is a famous archangel in the rabbinical tradition and some Christian currents. He is not as well known as Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel, but he is one of the most studied angels in angelology. His name means God is my light. In the arts, the archangel is portrayed holding a book or a scroll in one hand and with the solar orb in the other. Uriel's name is not written in the Bible, but is quoted with some frequency in the apocryphal books. He supposedly made some famous appearances in Jewish and Christian sacred texts, even without having his name expressly mentioned. Uriel was present in the Garden of Eden, where he protected the entrance to the garden with his flaming sword. The archangel also participated in the burial of Adam and Eve, the first human couple created by God. According to the book of Enoch, the angel appeared before Noah and warned about the future flood. In the book of Exodus, Uriel was present when the most terrible plague struck Egypt. The heavenly figure visited all the houses to find out which doors were painted with the blood of a lamb, as God commanded. This plague put an end to the life of the firstborn sons of those who did not follow the guidelines, including the son of the mighty Pharaoh. According to the apocryphal Gospels, Uriel helped in the protection of John the Baptist when he was still a baby, before the order of King Herod, who demanded the extermination of all the children who were born at that time. Several currents of Christianity revere the figure of Uriel. In the year 745, the Catholic Church tried, however, to stop the growing devotion to the angelic figures. Only the three great archangels, Raphael, Michael, and Gabriel, could be revered. In the Anglican Church of England, Uriel was raised to the status of a saint. According to some traditions, the archangel Uriel is the ruler of the sun. Sometimes he is known as the flame of God. The archangel is also known as the archangel of wisdom. His followers believe that the angel can help men find the wisdom to solve their problems and achieve their goals. All of this makes the angel Uriel one of the most important angelic figures for those who believe in the powerful influence of these celestial beings.
The Lord's messenger. The name Gabriel means man of God or emissary of God. The angel Gabriel is certainly one of the most well-known angelic figures, along with the archangels Raphael and Michael, and the fallen angel Lucifer. His most noteworthy appearance clearly took place when he announced the birth of the Son of God. The angel Gabriel was sent by God to Galilee to conduct the noblest mission of all. He would announce to the Virgin Mary that she would receive the grace of conceiving the Highness's son. At first, Mary felt frightened, but the archangel reassured her and revealed God's will. This unborn baby would soon be named Jesus. Even though this is the most renowned biblical episode in which Gabriel is present, there are other moments where the angel of Annunciation showed his character. The angel appeared before the prophet Daniel to announce the Messiah's coming. Likewise, he also stood before Zechariah the priest, announcing the arrival of his son John the Baptist. Zechariah doubted Gabriel, and so he remained speechless until the birth of his son. According to the biblical texts, the archangel Gabriel affirms that he is always in God's presence, and that he serves him to announce the good news. For this reason, those who believe in these heavenly figures and are devoted to them pray to and ask the angel to disclose the good news and God's promises for their lives. The angel Gabriel, in some Christian doctrines, is regarded as the personification of the Holy Spirit. The archangel Gabriel is the patron of several professions, most of which related to messengers and alike, such as postmen, diplomats, and communication professionals. But angel Gabriel's influence extends itself beyond Christianity.
Metatron is an angelic figure in Jewish tradition. Depending on the angelology, it is considered as part of the seraphim, figures that are at the top of the celestial hierarchy and therefore closer to God. There is no consensus regarding the meaning of his name. The absence of the suffix "el" in his name, as in Raphael and Gabriel, is something unique. As seraph, Metatron is often represented with 3 pairs of wings. He is the prince of the seraphim, and therefore the rest respect his authority. He is also sometimes considered the most powerful of all archangels. Metatron is the only heavenly figure with access to stand by the Creator and is considered the spokesman for God. He is the most powerful of all angels, even stronger than Michael, the warrior angel who defeated Lucifer and his hosts when they tried to revolt against the Creator. One of Metatron's missions is to be the intermediary between God and men. He also commands all other heavenly beings. Metatron was the coordinator and supervisor of activities among the remaining angels and archangels. Although he is the only one with unrestricted access to the Creator's throne, he does not take the supplications and requests of the faithful to God. The most famous reference to Metatron is in the Talmud, a set of texts and sacred books in Rabbinic Judaism. When Rabbi Elisha ben Abuya got permission to enter heaven and found the Metatron's glow, he thought there were two authorities in heaven, God and Metatron. Metatron was struck 60 times by a flaming baton to show that, despite his noble position, he was below the Creator. The heavenly figure is also referred to in the book of Enoch. According to some interpretations, Enoch, the father of Methuselah, became the famous angel the closest to the Lord. Metatron is sometimes known as the angel of life and death for his great influence on the tree of he is not an angelic figure as acknowledged as the three great archangels, Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. Metatron plays an important role alongside the throne of the Lord as his divine scribe, recording all the deeds and sins of men. Being the most powerful heavenly figure below only God, Metatron is one of the most respected angels by angelology fans.